everybody, welcome to Bones Collector, the board game channel for old people. But today on Bones Collector, I'd like to talk about games that came out in 2024 so far. Now, some of them we've played. We've played maybe 30 games from 2024. That's the good news. The bad news is probably 800 games are coming out this year, and that is just overwhelming. So we have to be very selective on the things that we seek out and play, so that we can, talk about them on the channel, because we want to only do games that we recommend. So yeah, we haven't had the opportunity to play all games because nobody can, but we just are like you. We search YouTube, try to find games that look interesting to us and get them played. And that's the way this board gaming hobby works. So I would like to talk about some of these games today, ones that I can recommend to you, and we'll start with Spectral. Now, Spectral is a deduction game that it looks so interesting when I saw it that I just had to play it. Now, I'm not a deduction game fan, so to speak. As a matter of fact, I think we only have one deduction game in our library, and that's Tobago. In Spectral, you have a grid of cards on the table all face down, and you have a notebook. And in that notebook, it's got all these pages. You have to start crossing off things that you found out, information that you found out while you're looking through these tiles. And it gives you the number of tiles and what they do on the book, so you can just cross them off. Well, I know where that's at, I know where that's at, I know where that's at. And that's the way it works when you're trying to put your workers that you're going to have next to tiles that are going to score. That's what you're trying to do. And then there are curses that go on some cards, and they will negate the scoring ability of that card. So if you have workers next to that card, you're not going to get any points for it. But there's a couple of things I love about this game. I love those notebooks, and because of that, I just wouldn't suggest buying this game used, because people are going to be crossing out stuff and using those things, and who knows how many plays they have. So if you go out and buy that game used, who knows how much of that stuff is still in the game. So you want to be careful about that. If I bought that game, I would just definitely laminate a couple of those, because they're all alike. So just laminate 2 of them and use a dry erase marker, and you don't have to spoil all those notebooks. And then if you ever do go to sell the game, it's 100% complete still. But the game intrigued me. We played it, and I told Lori, I'm normally not a person who likes deduction games, but this was a lot of fun, and it was unique. I really enjoyed it, and that's Spectral. Check it out if you get the opportunity online to check out on YouTube, but I really can recommend Spectral. The second game I can recommend from 2024 is a game called Umbrella. Now, Umbrella is a brain teaser of a game. It will make smoke come out of your ears. It is a really, really tough puzzle. And when you are playing this game, you have these thick wooden tokens, and you have boards, and I'm just talking about the 2-player game. Laura and I played it 2-player. You have boards on your left and right, on your top, and on the bottom of your player board. So those tokens populate those 4 boards, and depending on which board you take that from, you're going to slide it into, I think it's a 4x4 grid that's already on your board of those tokens. And so if you take it from the right, you have to slide it in from the right and push one out, and put that one that you pushed out on the left token board. And then if you pick one from the bottom and put it up through the bottom, you have to put the one you push out on the top board, and that's how that game works. And you're trying to finish patterns on tiles that are sitting on your player board. Once you finish that tile, you give it to your opponent, and you can pick where you put that tile. Maybe you'll cover something up they're working on. I mean, it's really, really an interesting game. And when we first started playing it, I thought, oh my gosh, this, I cannot get my mind around this. It hurts so bad, but it's a nice kind of hurt, and I can highly recommend it for people that like puzzle games. This thing is outstanding, and it really is the type of game where you have to think very hard and trying to do the patterns that are on those tiles, and you just have to concentrate so hard and think ahead on that. On your player board, you're looking at that array of colors and columns and rows, and trying to work out in your head how you can make that happen on those tiles. I mean, it was a really crazy cool game. But that's Umbrella. And I'm just going to right now go down games that we don't own, that I haven't bought, but I can recommend them to you. And one of those games is a Spiel des Jahres nominee, and Lori and I did play all 3 Spiel des Jahres nominees when we were at Dice Tower Con East last week. So we played Captain Flip, Sky Team, and In the Footsteps of Darwin. All solid games. They're all solid games. They deserve their nominations, but we liked Captain Flip the best. It is a game where you take tiles, you're drawing them out of a bag, and when you look at that tile, you're not allowed to look at what's on the other side. You have to decide, do I want to take that tile face up, play it on my player map, and you get, like in this box, 4 different maps, so there's different ways that they score on each map. But you're going to look at that tile and you're going to say, do I want to play it for that side or do I want to flip it? Now if you don't like what you're looking at, you flip it, and that's the one you have to play. You can't flip it back. It's a very simple game. It's a family weight game, something you can teach somebody in 2 minutes. You just look and flip. You're either going to put it face down the way you're looking at it, or you're going to flip it and put it down face down that way. And of course you're going to be scoring for different columns the way you're placing those on your player board and getting money. I think the most coins wins, something like that. But it's a very unique mechanic, a simple mechanic. It reminds me of Savannah Park. One simple mechanic and you build a game around it. And that's what this game, Captain Flip, does. So I really, really admire it and I love it. And I hope it wins the Spiel des Jahres. The other 2 games, Sky Team and In the Footsteps of Darwin. Sky Team is a cooperative game for 1 to 2 players. I think you can play solo, but you are trying to land a plane at an airport and rolling dice behind a player screen. When you are taking your turn as a group, when the co-pilot and pilot are taking their turns together, you cannot speak to each other. So you roll your dice behind a screen and you're just intuitively going to place these on different places on the board. There's a couple of places you have to place a die, and in others you have a choice, but you are trying to place those so that you don't get that plane tilting one side too far, the other side too far, or losing altitude too fast, and you have to time all that stuff to get that plane landed safely at the airport. And I can see why people love this game. It's very popular. It's been out for a while now, and we enjoyed it. I didn't think the publishing was that great in as far as physical publishing of the game, but it's a fun game, and I like co-op games, so that's Sky Team, but we're not going to bring that into our library. In the Footsteps of Darwin is another tile-laying game where you have the beagle going around, I don't know, 4x4 grid of tiles, and depending on where the beagle's at, you take a tile from that row and place that on your player board. So you have a grid of tiles, and wherever the beagle is, you have to choose from that row or column. Whatever tile you choose, I think it's only, it must be a 3x3 grid, because when you take a tile, let's say 1, 2, or 3, whichever one you take in that row or column, then you're going to move the beagle that far the next turn. But then you take those tiles that you select and you're going to play them on your player board. It's a set collection thing, and you have like environments and animal types and that kind of thing, of course, because it's about evolution. That's the type of thing you're doing in that game. And it was a cute game too. We enjoyed our time with it, but definitely Captain Flip, I think, was the most unique of the 3. So now we're down to a game that I did purchase that I really do enjoy. And I want to talk about that for a second, and that's Flock Together. This is a cooperative game, and it plays, 1 to 5 players, ages 10 and up, it says. 25 minutes per player. This game is published so beautifully and it's so cute. It's about chickens. Now the chickens are being oppressed in the world, and they're looking to build a coop where it just is going to be their utopia, their utopian coop. And they want to build this coop and have a place for chickens to live in peace, but the predators are just trying to stop them. And that's what you're doing in this game. You're cooperatively trying to eliminate all the predators before the timer runs out on the 3 seasons. You have 1 year. Now, the reason why I love this game so much is it has a very beautiful presence on the table. It is published, like I say, very well. Everything in it is magnificent, and on the board itself, you're going to have a worker, a chicken, you're going to, screen printed by the way, a wooden chicken that you're going to move around the board, and I appreciate them being made of wood, thank you very much. And wherever that chicken, it depends on if it's outside the coop or inside the coop, that's going to determine the actions you're allowed to take, and it tells you that on your player board, your dual layer player board by the way. And then the most unique factor about this game, the thing that sold me on it, are the predators and the chicken characters themselves, because they come in a spiral notebook. So your character, your chicken, and it has some cute names like chicken names and predator names on the book. I'm going to open this game up just to kind of talk through it a little bit. Oh, Cluckleberry Finn, stuff like that you're going to have for characters. And I want to show you how that works. This character is Wyatt Chirp. Now Wyatt Chirp, a cute little guy, and he starts out with one attack. He's got one fist right there. And he has the special ability on his book called Hardtack. You start the game with one food. That's your special ability right there. That's how you start the game. On the book here, it tells you you have to eat 5 meals and you have 3 starting health. Now, when you complete eating those 5 meals on your player board, then you level up and you're going to turn the page. And when you level up and turn the page, you get more powerful. Now he has 2 attack, Wyatt Chirp. He's getting dangerous now. And not only does he have hardtack, but he has something called payback. Now, payback says when you miss a production roll, gain a free meal. That's pretty cool. And then if you level up one more time, it tells you you need to eat 10 meals, and you leveled up to 4 health. Now if you eat 10 meals, you level up to the 3rd level and you have 5 health and you get a 3rd level up ability. And that's the way this game works. That's why I was so intrigued by it. But here's the thing, not only are the characters using these books, but you get a whole pack of Predator books that do the same thing. And they are outstanding also. In your player board, it has a cutout for the spiral back of the notebook so it sits nice and flat. And then you have these game trays, bowls, these eggs that are reminiscent of Wingspan, beautiful variety of food tokens, everything screen printed, chunky health tokens, a whole deck of bonus cards that you can get, grub cards. There's a grub deck of special benefits that you can get to help you out in this game. But here's what I want to say about this game. I don't want to mislead you. This game is hard. It is a hard game to win. I played at the convention and I saw enough to know that I would really like it, and I bought it there. $85. But we played it, and man, I tell you, we lost. I'm going to have to learn some tricks in this game. It is tight, and it's a tough game to win, but I was thrilled with it. The game is just, again, beautiful on the table. It has that fun look to it. It's the type of game when people walk by and say, wow, that looks like fun. What game is that? You know, that's the type of thing I'm looking for. And then on top of that, it has that unique leveling up system in those notebooks. So it really intrigued me. I really love it. I'm just so happy about this type of thing. The box is outstanding, thick cardboard. They went all out in this game. Again, custom dice. I appreciate publishers that are paying attention to what people are wanting in the board game community, because we're spending a lot of money, aren't we? We want our money's worth. Okay, that's Flock Together 2024. Okay, let's talk about some other games that I played at the convention, and one of them is Harmonies, and I really liked that game. We enjoyed it very much. I can't even remember the publisher or the author's name. It's called Harmonies. It's very popular right now, and you have a player board where you're going to be stacking tokens and placing tokens on that in a certain fashion, certain way, in order to score points. Well, I really liked it. It's a nice little puzzle. I couldn't think of anything really that I would ever kick out of my library to make room for that, but I can recommend it. It's a fun game, as is Cities. And now Cities, I remember, is designed by Dr. Steve Finn and Phil Walker Harding. And that's an interesting collaboration, because I have Imhotep by Phil Walker Harding, and it's the only game I've kept from him, even though I've played a lot of his other games that I've enjoyed. I have Biblios and Whatnot Cabinet by Steve Finn, and I like both those games. So these are two guys I'm very familiar with, and I was interested in checking out Cities. Lori and I played it with a wonderful young couple, Mariah and Eli. They were very nice kids, and we enjoyed our time with the game and with those two people we met. They were lots of fun, and the game itself I can highly recommend. You have 4 workers and you have 4 rows of things you can do on that board, on the market board, and you're simply going to select one of those. Once you place your worker in that row, you're going to have to do something different on your next turn, and that's where the planning comes in. What do I want to do first? What do I want to do last? So you're thinking ahead quite a bit in that game and trying to build your player board to score the most points. And they got a little plastic building, so it's got a nice little table presence to it. I'm not saying I would never bring that game in, but I don't see what I would get rid of right now in order to make room for it. But it is a good game. I can recommend it. Okay, what else I want to talk? Oh, another game that we played that I didn't buy was Invincible, the hero building game. Now, Invincible, I understand, is a TV show or something, either on Netflix or something like that. And I'm not familiar with it, so I couldn't give you a review about the show. But the game itself from Dire Wolf is very good. Of course, Dire Wolf, we have Dune Imperium and we have Clan Catacombs, 2 games that are in our library that I absolutely adore and would never get rid of. But Invincible is a cooperative adventure style game, and you are playing a character and going against bosses and adversaries that you're going to battle during the game. So this game's a bag builder, and you're going to be able to acquire different color cubes that do different actions on your board, and you want to get a bunch of those cubes because there are black cubes in the bag. This is a push your luck cooperative game, and in that bag you're going to have black cubes. Well, the good news is those are wild, so you can put those on any action on your board. The bad news is if you draw the 5th one, you bust, and there's some punishment for that. So you have to watch out for that game when you're pushing your luck. But we had a good time playing that game. I enjoyed the game a lot. I thought it was a nice design. I would have to play it some more. At a convention, you're playing one game and moving on, and that's what we do to try to get as many games in as we possibly can. 2 more games I want to talk about that we didn't play that I thought were going to be good. Windmill Valley, we tried to get that checked out of the library. It was always gone. Lori and I were constantly on the lookout for it. There's just no way we were going to get that game, so we didn't get it played. It's called Windmill Valley by Danny Garcia, who did Barcelona last year, a year before, or something like that. And I will say this about Windmill Valley. It doesn't have a real appeal for us. It has a neat gear mechanism for action selection. It's got these 2 gears on your player board, and you're going to twist them, and depending on what comes around, because one gear is bigger than the other one, and so they're not always going to come around and match, but that's what you're going to use for an action selection mechanism. And the game looks solid. You're building windmills on the board and doing various things that are going to score you points. But it just doesn't draw me in as a theme. I have enough mid-weight dry Euro games in my library. I just don't need another one. I wanted to play it because I think it's a solid game. As a matter of fact, I watched Rado play it, and I'm sure it's a solid game. And I can recommend it to you if that's what you're looking for in your gaming library. The other game I want to talk about is Weirdwood Manor. And that rolls off my tongue. Very difficult. Weirdwood Manor. Whoa. Weirdwood Manor. But it's Weirdwood Manor. And it is a game that has a circular board, and it has these rings on it that actually move. So the locations and stuff that you're going to has to do with how that works. And it's a cooperative game, but it had a little bit to it, a little bit more than we had time for to sit down and read the rule book and teach ourselves the game. We did take a look at the game, and I have a basic understanding about how it works, but I couldn't say yay or nay to recommending it, but I do want to play it because I like the theme. I like the theme. It's a Euro game that has an interesting theme. I'm going to get that played. I just haven't done it yet. Okay, back to the games that I own from 2024. All right, I'm going to talk about a game called Nocturne. This is from AEG Flat Out Games. The designer is David Iezzi, and we backed this on either Kickstarter or GameFound, I don't know which I tell you not to do. This is very inexpensive though, so there wasn't a big gamble. And then we've backed games from Flat Out and AEG before. That's Calico, Cascadia, and Verdant. And they did a fantastic job with those games, getting them to the backers on time, and the publishing was rock solid. I think the publishing went down a step in Nocturne, sad to say, and I wish they had published this game with the same quality that they had the prior games that we got from them. It's not bad, it just that I was expecting it to be up to their normal standard. But the game itself, fantastic. It's a bidding game. I enjoy it so much because bidding games for 2 players that work well are few and far between. Hey, I like Furnace. That's got an outstanding bidding mechanism in it. If you haven't played Furnace, you need to. This one works outstanding where you have a group of tokens all numbered from 1 to 10, I think. 1 to 9. I think it's 1 to 10. And those are what you're going to use to bid. And you have one that's got an X on it, I think. When you place that one, you outbid the other player immediately. You take that tile. There's no bidding war going on. You're going to place that and take it. And then you're going to grab these tiles and put them in your play area. It's a set collection thing, and depending on what tile that is, they have different ways of scoring. So that's interesting. I really enjoyed that. And then they have on the tiles themselves icons, and depending on how many of those icons you have, it's going to score your points also. The player that loses the bid has the opportunity to place them on a sprite board where there are 6 tiles on display, and you may need one of those badly at the end of the round in order to complete a set that you're working on in your play area. So you want to try to get one of those tiles. You're going to have to manipulate the value of those tokens on that board, and you don't want to be shut out on there if you're playing this game. I love the game. The art is fantastic. The card stock I think is good. I think it was linen cards. Of course, the best sold did the art. Nocturne is, I can highly recommend it, obviously, because I'm going to keep it in my library. I love it, and it's a great bidding game. Then I would like to talk about a couple of little games. Kinfire Delve. Now, this one, Vainglory's Grotto, I believe came out in 23, but we did not see it until 24. And this one just came out, Scorn Stockade. I think there's a third one, Colo's Lab or something. I can't think of what the name of it is, but wow. Folks, you won't spend $20 ever in gaming better than you would if you bought these games for a number of reasons. Again, you hear me talk all the time about publishers stepping up to the board. This game is fantastic. This is a thick little box, and it's got a picture in the lid. I love the box. I'm sorry that I go on about that, but put my game in a good box. And then these decks of cards in here, all linen card stock. And this is a cooperative game also. I didn't mention that. Beautiful art on the cards. And each player has a deck of beautiful cards. And there's some more cards that go to... And you're simply... look at this. Foil, they've got foil highlights on these cards. Let's see. That's one character, and that's the other player. I mean, they're both different. Let me see if I can hold those up to the camera real quick so that you can really get a look at those. Hopefully, I don't know if you can see those or not. But man, an outstanding game. Cooperative. And the unique thing about this game that makes it so fantastic for me is you can help the other player. So you can look at your deck, your cards in your hand and say, this player is going to take on, and you're doing battle. You're doing battle in this game. And he's taken on somebody that in battle, your fellow player, and they will say, can you give me any help? And you have to decide whether you want to help them or not. And the reason why that's a tough decision is because you only have so many cards in your hand. And that deck of cards I showed you. And if you burn through them, you're going to be in trouble when it comes to the final boss battle. So you have to run a gauntlet of minions that you're going to have to defeat. And then you're going to battle a boss picked randomly. And you're going to battle that boss at the end of the round. This game is sweet. And it comes with 5 custom dice. 4 custom D6s, those things are sweet, man, and a D10, a black D10. So, I mean, wow. Again, you will never spend $20 better than what you spent if you bought this game. Laura and I love this game. First time we played it, we were like, wow. That's Kinfire Delve, and we have 2 versions of it. Will we get the third one? I don't know. I mean, this game is outstanding. And then the last game I want to talk about from 2024 that we felt like we wanted to buy is Millennium Space Agency. And this is the worst title that anyone's ever given a board game. It's true. And I won't argue that fact. But this is outstandingly published. It's by one of the... I don't know. is he the best board game designer in history, Reiner Knizia? I mean, possibly. And anybody that wants to make that argument could definitely do that. And that the only thing I have, let me get this box. There we go. It's got a nice box with it. And this is a kitty cat game, obviously with the theme. It has a play mat in the box. And I've complained for years about publishers, if you're going to offer a play mat in your game, make it fit in the box. But in this game, this is a push your luck dice game. The dice are big, chunky, custom dice. I love that. You roll out this play mat, and it's really long, and you're going to be able to take your chip with your kitty cats on it and try and see how far you can get up that track. Because if you can get all the way up, you're really going to be scoring some points. But there's various mechanics in the game I'm not going to talk about too much because I wanted this video to be shorter than it already is. But this game is so much fun. I love it. It's by Reiner Knizia. It's a push your luck dice chucking game about cats in space. And that's it, you guys. That's my 2024 mid-year review or whatever. And I'm going to seek out some more games from 2024 to play. But I really haven't seen anything else that interests me. If you guys have played something that's a 2024 game that's amazing, please leave it in the comments because I would like, help me out. Again, we spend hours and hours perusing YouTube trying to find games that were published in 2024 to get played. We'll go to our local game store and play them and go to conventions and try to get them played. So far, these 1, 2, 3, this is the 4 games from 2024. Flock Together, Nocturne, Kinfire Delve, and Lem. Those are the 4 ones that we've added to our library from 2024. So I hope you're having a great day gaming. Thank you for taking time to give us a thumbs up on your phone or on your television set or your computer or whatever you happen to be watching on. We appreciate that more than I can possibly tell you. And then thank you for subscribing. And I love every one of you. Keep on board gaming. It's the best hobby on the planet because of games like these. See you next time on The Bones Collector. Bye-bye.
No.
There you go.
There.
Ready? Hey everybody, how you doing? Welcome to Bones Collector, and tonight I got a special unboxing. I just got this this afternoon, showed up on my doorstep. I didn't know it was coming, and I thought it was a box of cat litter, but it's not. It's Colossal Cat in the Box. Now, Cat in the Box is a game that came out a couple of years ago from Bezier Games, and I had never played it, and a friend of ours introduced it to us at, what convention was it? It was Escape Winter. Escape Winter, our friend Richard said, hey, I got a game you might like. And it comes in a little box. I think it was like a regular edition and a deluxe edition. And then Bezier Games decided to do a Colossal edition. Well, I loved the game. After one play, Lori and I really fell in love with it. We knew we really liked it. And so we backed this on crowdfunding.
We actually backed it first.
Oh yeah, we did back it first,
we backed
didn't we?
it not knowing if we liked it or not.
We really like these king-size editions.
Yeah.
They did it to King Domino, and we enjoy King Domino so much more in this king-size edition that we have because you can enjoy the art and stuff so much, and just the big pieces. These small games that are really good do nicely and look nice in a enormous package. So let's get this thing out of here without a bunch of talking. And we got some card sleeves for the cards. And if you've never played Cat in the Box, it's a trick-taking game. And the unique thing about it is you name the suit that you're going to play. So that is hard to get your head around.
Yeah.
But once you do, it's pretty neat. And this is the box. So it comes, Cat in the Box is a really small box game. I don't know if you've ever seen this, about, I don't know about that big. But yeah, this is a regular sized box. So wow, check that out. Colossal, it looks colossal. All right, let's check out and see what's in this box. I don't want to keep you guys all night, so let's see if I can get into here without cutting anything. I know that I don't really have any trick-taking games. This is the only one we have, isn't it?
Well, we got rid of Fox in the Forest.
Yeah, Fox in the Forest we had for a while.
I don't know.
Yeah. I don't know, we just don't have any. I don't know why, we just don't have any trick-taking games. But once we played this, we really enjoyed it. And it's kind of, are you bidding a little bit? Because
You have to bid on how many tricks you think you're going to take.
Yeah. Box is decent, not real thick, but it's decent. What's this? Bezier Games product catalog, and they're going to advertise, of course, for more games. Confidential, Cat in the Box Colossal Research, String Theory, and Doppler Effect documentation. I have no idea what that means.
There's 2 expansions in that box.
Oh, okay. The String Theory expansion and the Doppler Effect expansion. So that's something new that's in this box. And this is the Cat in the Box experimental manual. And I imagine this, this is the instruction booklet, and even it is large, but I appreciate it being like comic book size. Instead of the whole size of the box, I like that so much better. Look how large the font is in this rule book. You gotta love that, I do. Old people like me love that kind of thing. Look at the size of these boards. I don't know if you've played Cat in the Box, but it's a small game, and this thing is so large. This is awesome. And it has these cards you slide in, like that. And I guess that's the game variety. I mean, there's a bunch of different ones in here, I think, yeah. So those cards slide in and change the game, and you get like a bunch, or 2 more of those cards. I said a bunch, but it's 2 more. Another pack of sleeves in the box, so that's pretty cool. A deck of cards that you're going to use. Player boards, I think these were the player boards, right? Yeah, and you're going to, gosh, it's been so long since we played it. You bid on how many tricks you're going to take, and you get a bonus if you get that many.
You're correct, yeah.
Is that the way it works? And then you have all these kitty heads in here. So this must play. There's the nice insert. Oh, wait a minute. What's this guy?
He's the first player marker.
That's a first player marker. Check him out. A pad of scorekeeping things, and there's the insert inside the box. Check these little kitty heads out here. These are pretty cool. Yeah, this guy's awesome. That thing weighs a lot. That's the first miniature I've ever seen I liked.
At least I refrained from ordering the stuffy. They had 2 different sizes of stuffies I could have get.
Wow, these things are cool. And they're full of your player pieces. Wow, they're all screen printed, big chunky plastic pieces that you bid with. And oh my gosh, this is so cool. These black ones, look at it, they're shaped like kitty heads. Oh, that is cool. The black ones are shaped like cat heads. Oh man, I'm excited to play this game, I want to tell you. All these big chunky pieces, I love it. I love it. This is going to be so much fun. I love the little version of the game that we had, that we played at the convention. I told Lori, man, that was really fun. I loved that. We had a great time doing that game, and we had, for whatever reason, why did we bet? I think
because it was colossal.
It was colossal.
That's the whole reason. He said he designed it.
Yeah, for his
mother wanted to be able to play, so he designed a big version so his mom could see the pieces, and then everybody said, hey, we want one of those.
I don't know if I'm doing a very good job showing you guys what's in here, but I kind of assumed that you are familiar with Cat in the Box, and if you're not, I'm sorry. But yeah, these big chunky pieces are outstanding. And again, these are look how thick those things are, and let's hold those up, man. That is thick, I want to tell you. Wow. That is really thick, and I think your pieces, they go in there? I can't remember. It's been so long since I played this game, but I loved it when I played it. I know I couldn't wait for it to be here.
Did the cards look any different?
And we weren't expecting the game. And the cool thing about this game, again, is you get a hand of cards that are all the same. I mean, everybody's getting the same color cards, and then when you go to play your card, you have to name Trump, or you name
the color.
Name the color, and that's the hard thing to.
It's a little hard to get your head around.
Yeah.
It took a couple of plays, but then I won, so it was fun.
That's right. You did win. Yeah, all the cards look alike. I mean, this is the deck of cards. They're all black. So when you go to play, you're just gonna name what color you want it to be. And you're going to try to take the trick by naming the color. And these are numbered 1 through 10, these cards. And, you know, depending on what color is trump or what is named, whoever has the highest value card is going to get that trick. So it kind of, it's hard to wrap your head around when you're playing
But
it.
you have to keep track on that board because you can only call a certain number, a certain color at a certain time.
Yeah.
Because you're keeping track on the board.
Man, I mean, I'm really excited to play this. That board is super thick. Wow, this is a great idea. Absolutely, just a wonderful idea because this game was very successful. I mean, we're not the only ones that love this game.
Mm-hmm.
This is a really, really popular game. And again, I couldn't wait to get my hands on it in this fashion, this form. You know what? We probably would have gotten this game after we played it. I really liked it if they didn't make this. And once we played that, and we knew we already ordered this,
Yeah.
we were like, oh man, this makes it even better
Yeah.
because we really liked the game. And then to be able to play it in this form.
We just didn't look at it a lot because it was a
Yeah.
trick-taking game, and that's usually not our style. But
This is a trick-taking game with a twist.
mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's so bizarre.
I can't wait to try it.
Yeah, we can't wait to try it. That is it. I think that's all I want to talk about. Again, you got these boards that slip in here, and yeah, I mean the different boards that it comes with the game. I don't know. Yeah, 3.4, 5.6. I don't know. It's really cool.
Probably some, yeah.
Yeah, I
I'm
can't
sure the
remember
expansion
everything about
changes
it.
the board, I'm
But for
sure.
those of you who are interested and have played Cat in the Box, maybe you didn't know this existed, and I don't know if you can buy it.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I think my box, the outer box said 2,140 something out of 2,500. So I don't know if there were many people that backed this on crowdfunding, but in this form right here, this game is going to be something to look at on the table. And this first player token, I can't get over that thing. That is awesome. That thing weighs quite a bit. It's pretty awesome.
Well, there were 3,738 backers.
3,700. So that's not very many copies out there, but hopefully you can get your hands on one. If you like trick-taking games and that sounds like something you'd like to play where you name the trump. I mean, everybody has the same color cards in their hand. Everybody's got black cards. And then when you go to play, before you start playing in the round, you have to bid on how many tricks you think you'll take. And depending on, and you put a marker on the board.
This says that it's at least 4 times the original size.
4 times the original size. But you put a marker on this board, right? I think when you win the trick, you're going to put a marker on this board, and you can you get points for adjacency of your markers of where you.
I don't remember how it all played. There's all kinds of things going on.
I just wanted to show it off to you guys and make sure that you knew it existed, and to tell you how much I loved Cat in the Box. First of all, the game, and then just to show you the new package that's coming in, and we'll play it and tell you about it and let you know what we think. And that's it. I just want to make a short video and show you my new game. So I'll see you next time on The Bones Collector. Please like. It takes a second, but it means so much. Thank you for subscribing, and I love every one of you, and I'll see you next time here on the best board gaming channel on the internet, The Bones Collector. See ya. Bye-bye.